pre-season. Mark, we haven't spoken to you yet about Billy Jones signing, a left back with a good pedigree.
Yeah, I like Billy. I've followed him for a few years. Tried to take him a couple of times, just not happened. Delighted. He's not one that I'd actually was aware of that was available. I thought he was ready to go again at Exeter. Spoke to him and he was done pretty quickly while I was away, and just a case of just tying it all up at the right time. I'm delighted. He's a good player. He's a steady defender, 6 foot, good size, good presence about him, bit of experience, but he can play. He can play. He gets forward. He likes to get crosses in the box. He likes to back his wide man up and go past him, and he's got real quality at set pieces.
You mentioned experience. With a good age as well, 29, got experience, but also a good few years left.
Yeah, listen, I'm not bothered if they're 17 or 33, 35. If they're good players and they're going to add something to my team, you know, I'm not. It doesn't really account for it. He's a good age. He's got legs. He can. I'm sure he'll be a good player for us.
And he told me the deal was done very quickly. I suppose that shows just how quickly you can get people in if any supporters might be a bit nervous.
Like I say, I made a couple of phone calls once I was aware of his availability, asked him what his situation was. The next time I spoke, we literally I said what I can offer, and it was pretty much a done deal. And you know, we sort of verbally agreed it, and because I had to wait a week while I was away and while he was just sorting a few things out back home, but he came up yesterday. He could have come up Monday, but it was just convenient for everybody yesterday, and we're delighted we got him.
Do players become a little bit easier to negotiate with now that pre-season started and clubs are in training?
Maybe. I'm not having any difficulty with that. It's just we're trying to get the right players, and circumstances sometimes just mean that you have to wait. You know, the money that I can offer people hasn't changed, you know, but you know, you're getting offered plenty of players, so there's plenty out there. We're just trying to get the best ones we possibly can. So
what do you want still to complete your squad, do you feel?
I've got a few, yeah. We probably need 4 or 5 at least before the start of the season. I want 20, 21, 22, depending on what I can get. I need a goalkeeper, I need a couple of strikers, and then we'll just see where we go from there.
And is there a sort of a deadline where you'd like to get them in by so they can get some pre-season?
No, not really. Ideally, I'd like just as soon as possible. You know, we're working on things all the time. Ideally, by the time we go to Wales on the 23rd, it'd be nice to have 3 or 4 of those players in, and then just either have a couple of targets or a couple of loans that we can perhaps pick up later. Just maybe finalise, but because I'm not in any rush. I know that people are working hard, you know, at various places, whether it be at clubs, whether it be by themselves, whether it be here. You know, we're looking at adding to the quality that we've already got. We've got a good foundation. There's no need to panic. You know, the 16 players that we do have, I could get a good team out of that now. You know, so all we're trying to do is make that team even better.
The work that you're doing with them at the moment, obviously there's a long time before that first pre-season game against Evesham. Yeah. How important, you know, I presume it's mostly fitness work at the moment, how important that be?
It's what we've always done, you know. We think 10 days is the right time scale to get in before we play a game. Steady day today, just an introduction, but tough enough. You know, we're one of the last clubs back in, but we're more than confident that they've come back in good shape, and there's plenty enough time to work on them for the start of the season.
And because of what happened at the end of last season, the season being extended for so long,
yeah,
have they needed a break?
Yeah, that was the whole point. You know, we one or two were looking tired at the end of last season, and quite rightly so, because they'd put in a tremendous amount of effort. So it was important that they were all given individual training programs just to make sure that they come back in the best possible shape, but also that they've had enough of a rest that they're ready to go again.
No one's come back looking like a balloon, have they?
Just me. No, apart from that, we're all right.
And I suppose games are the things that players want to be involved in. So how much at the moment will a pre-season game away to Evesham, even though it's only pre-season, how much will that just be the carrot there for them at the moment?
Yeah, exactly. We always think that you need 7 to 10 days minimum with and balls and just being on the training ground, getting your body used to all the movements that you make and all the turns and the sharpness. It's not going to come straight away. They'll all play 45 minutes at Evesham. That's the plan. It's something similar depending what numbers we have and what we take down to Glamorgan at Paul Talbot. And then we once Evesham comes, we are right in it. We play Saturday, Tuesday for the next 2 or 3 weeks, and all of a sudden the season will be upon us. So the players, they know what's ahead. They know that it's all done with a bit of thought. We haven't just gone, right, let's play a game there, let's run that day. It's all done properly nowadays, and we're going down that route.
And finally, you'd normally expect pitches to be baked hard this time of year. I
Yeah.
imagine that going out there's probably good to soft. How much of a help is that for you?
It's been a bit of a hindrance in terms of how quickly the grass has been growing and actually getting it cut. And if you'd have come down here Monday, it looked like a played field's not the right word, but it looked so long, and Matt was having problems getting the grass cut because it was just so wet. But he's done a good job over the last few days. It's sort of dried out a little bit. It was fine out there today. It was nice to not be worrying about blisters, but it's a good training ground, and we're happy to be here.
Thank you.
Mark, what can you tell us about the trialists you've had a look at?
Yeah, just got 5 lads in who've been recommended to me. I've seen 1 or 2, and we're just going to have a look at them over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, the one you mentioned that was a bit more experienced, is that Mark Hughes?
Yeah.
Is he looking for a club? Is he?
He is. He's looking for a club, and he phoned Neil, and we were more than happy because we think he's a decent player. Like I said, we're just the next couple of signings, next one in particular, will probably decide where we go with various things. And I expect once we get one, not necessarily the goalkeeper, that'll determine where we go with the rest.
Right. Might seem a ridiculous question, but Portsmouth has been linked with McLaren, but they've down there reported that Cheltenham have been interested in him. Is that well out of your price range, or is it possible?
I've spoke to someone who's works for the agent that he works for, and no one's come back to me. I want good players. He's top scorer in the league last year, of course, but I don't think it's us.
Yeah, well, can I just ask you about Forest? Bit of a shock about Steve Cotterill.
Yeah, I'm feeling a bit really sorry for Steve, and he did a good job there in difficult circumstances last year. I saw a statement from the family that have taken over, and just nothing surprises you in football. I'm sure Steve will get a job quickly. He's a good manager, and like I say, nothing surprises you.
Cheers, Mark.